You found the G-spot. Unscrewed with Martin Sargent's next.
Coming up tonight, the roof. The roof is definitely on fire if you're a gopher. Plus, a professor who believes it's high time our government fesses up to its decade-long alliance with extraterrestrials. And our girl gone wired says she got her sex education / therapy role-playing with Barbie dolls as a young girl. Hey, I'm Laura Swisher, and you're watching Unscrewed. And here he is, a man often confused for an alien on account of his preternaturally large eyes and willowy stick-like arms. It's Martin Sargent.
Simmer down, I said, simmer. You know, Laura, that's actually true. I am often confused for being an alien, but it's not because of my large eyes or willow-like stick arms. It's because I routinely break into people's houses late at night and probe their anuses. You know what I'm saying?
You just turned something beautiful into something ugly, Martin.
What's your address again? Hey, everybody, welcome to Unscrewed, the show that's like a timber wolf, high on a ridgetop, howling into the valley of internet culture. Oh! I'm Martin Sargent, but if I were a wolf, my name would be Pogo. Pogo. Ooh. Hey, Unscrewed Army, a lot of you don't know this, but I was raised deep in the Montana wilderness in a village called Gooseberry Notch. It was a paradise, except for the fact that for most of the 80s, our small village was stalked by this creature, a devil beast, who killed, dismembered, and partially ate a goodly number of our townfolk, including my own brother, Simon. Simon, my dear dead brother, do you know that I am a TV star now? Do they have platinum third-tier extended digital plus cable in heaven? And so, what's up with God? Is he cool? Anyway, except for the killings, I'm telling you, Gooseberry Notch sure was great. In fact, that's where I developed my love for backcountry camping. See, back in those days, a crappy plastic compass and a Scooby-Doo sleeping bag was as high-tech as camping got. But now, in our teched-up high-tech world, there's just a whole array of items to make you safer and more comfortable in the backcountry. Take the reflector blanket. This thing is a miracle. I mean, you could lie on it, make a tent with it, and you know what? If you get lost, wrap yourself in it, and like magic, everything will be fine. Just kidding, man. It'll just, reflect light, but without food and water, you'll still die. But hey, if a plane happens to fly by, maybe they'll see your special shiny blanket and you'll be saved. But probably not. But if you have a high-tech global positioning system like this one, then you won't ever get lost, so no problem, right? But a GPS won't keep you safe from everything in the woods, like devil beasts, for example. No, for that, you'll need a weapon, preferably a high-tech handheld photon cannon like that. But be careful, because a lot of things can happen when you're packing a photon cannon. Nature, so restful. Something in the underbrush. I wonder what I shot. Alas, my youth in Gooseberry Notch, living in fear of the devil beast, had made me hasty on the trigger. For that day, I didn't shoot a woodland creature or a devil beast. Nay, I shot this man. Phil Clarkson from Illinois. So there's the rub. Technology can keep you safe on the one hand, but if handled badly, it can also hurt and even kill. But out there in the forest, I accidentally took a life, but I also gave life back. For there, besides the corpse of Phil Clarkson, I found something pure, something gentle. I found a baby, and that baby now lives with me in my house, in a cabinet.
That was an uplifting story.
And I just hoping the show doesn't go too late because I got a baby in my cabinet. I don't know the first thing about it. Hey, before we do anything else, I got to ask you something.
Yeah.
Have you seen this guy around the office? You know, he's always wearing that Christmas sweater.
Yeah, Christmas. I don't know what he does. I don't know who hired him, but I always see him around.
He's just always around.
Yeah.
The weird thing is he acts like I hired him. I mean, he's always coming up to my desk and like asking me questions. I have no clue why. Nobody knows what he does at the office. So I decided to set up a hidden camera and check this out. I caught some footage of our Christmas guy.
Hi. I went ahead and I downloaded all those extra files you're talking about, and then I also rebuilt the firewall. But I'm feeling a little sick from my lunch, so I was wondering if it was okay if today I just went ahead and knocked off a little bit early.
It's all right. Do whatever you need to do, man.
Okay. Well, I'll see you later.
Who the hell is that guy?
I don't know, but you want to know something weird? He took off yesterday for Rosh Hashanah. And his last name is Steinberg.
You know this guy. You lied to me. The Christmas guy has a story, and I will get to the bottom of it. All right, everyone. Tonight's show is so good, when we're done showing it to you, it's going to be swaddled in velvet and placed in the permanent collection of the Whitney Museum of American Art. It's a pretty good show, isn't it? In a few moments, we're going to blow the lid off how space aliens are running our government. And I'm not talking about Cheney, real space aliens. And our girl gone wired shines with such radiant beauty that you can actually see her from all 58 moons of Jupiter. Take your pick, any one of them, you can see her. But before all that business, it's time once again to check in with our staff scientist, Dr. Peterson, in an always informative segment we call Mysteries of Science Explained.
Mysteries of Science Explained!
Oh, hello, and welcome to Mysteries of Science Explained. You know, in 1953, a lot of people started reporting seeing some crazy lights in the sky over Washington, D.C. Was it aliens? You bet your fiery, sweet, pulsating ass it was aliens. And I'll tell you something else, too. One day, they're gonna come down to planet Earth, and they're gonna punch our tickets. They're gonna kill us all. And that's why you have to punch your own ticket before the aliens get to you. Punch your own ticket. That's right, punch it. Punch your own ticket, just like I was about to do. I was ready for that one. All right, back to the science. Let's grind some things with the pestle.
Thank you for watching Mysteries of Science Explained!
Another mystery of science explained. Always informative. I just think it's about time, you know, we amp up the Thorazine dosage on our staff scientists there. Little touch. Anyway, what do you think? Are space aliens tampering around with our political process over there in Washington, D.C.? Clearly, our Dr. Peterson thinks so, but find out what our next guest thinks right after the break.
Anime Unleashed, next.
Welcome back to Unscrewed. If you have a hard time fathoming the policy decisions that come out of Washington, D.C., maybe it's because those decisions are influenced by space aliens. Here to talk about this troubling issue is the author of Exopolitics, Political Implications of the Extraterrestrial Presence, Dr. Michael Sala. Great to have you on the program, Dr. Sala. Just a little bit of background here. You were a political science professor at American University, writing about such things as conflict resolution in East Timor, the Balkans, some pretty heavy stuff. But then you shifted your academic focus and got interested in extraterrestrials. Why?
Well, that's right. Basically what I found was the literature and the evidence on what was happening in international conflicts wasn't explaining what was going wrong. And so I began to look elsewhere, and what I found was that through the Disclosure Project, that there were a number of government, former military officials, employees, talking about their role in covering up an extraterrestrial presence.
The Disclosure Project is run by Dr. Stephen Greer, and in 2001, they went before the National Press Club, and all these former military people came out and said, yes, I used to see aliens every day. I worked very closely with them. Is that how you got interested in it?
Basically, that's right. I mean, they were very impressive. They had long histories in terms of various services, various occupations, and they were very persuasive. And basically what they did was they presented very strong evidence that this is, in fact, is happening, and that the government is keeping this information from the general public.
And this has actually been going on for a long time. You say over 70 years ago, right? Aliens first came in contact with American presidency?
Well, basically it all began in 1942 as far as the US is concerned, when they found off the coast of San Diego a crashed disk, and they began to retrieve that and reverse engineer that. Then that continued on in 1947 with another crash in Roswell where the Army got a disk. The first disk was the Navy. Then the Army got a disk in 47, the Navy and the Army are competitors in this field. And then in 1954, you have an actual meeting where the president, that's Eisenhower.
Eisenhower actually met with these aliens?
That's right, yes.
What kind of aliens? I mean, this whole flying saucer thing, it makes swift boats seem very insignificant, you know? What kind of aliens did Eisenhower meet with? I mean, there's several species of aliens that come in contact with us, right?
In February 20, 1954, President Eisenhower was at Palm Springs and then went to Edwards Air Force Base and had a meeting with a delegation of extraterrestrials.
Wait, I read that he went to the Air Force Base to see a dentist.
That was the cover story.
That was the cover story. Okay, I knew I read that.
Yeah. So, but the cover story didn't hold. It's got holes in it, and people have been able to find out exactly what the holes were. Basically, he went to Edwards Air Force Base. He met with Nordic extraterrestrials.
Nordic extraterrestrials. The Nords are sort of these elegant, very tall, kingly-looking beings with long, they're kind of Fabio-ish.
That's right. Yeah, they're very impressive beings, and basically Eisenhower had a meeting with them. They communicated to Eisenhower that they wanted the US to abandon its nuclear testing program. 11 days after the meeting, the US tested its largest ever hydrogen bomb.
So Eisenhower's like, F that, Fabio. We're going to blow some up, man. Is that what he said?
Well, you know, they didn't want to give up their nukes. They thought that this was their security and that they weren't going to give it up for aliens coming in preaching brotherhood and spiritual growth.
But that wasn't the only sort of pact that our government made with the aliens, right? We also signed a sort of a treaty with the gray aliens. The Greys are sort of the classic big head, big eye kind of things, right?
That's right. That's another group.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, maybe?
No, he's more of a Nord. He's more of a Nord.
Okay.
You know, Winona Ryder, kind of more of a Gray. But this pact was, they would allow these gray aliens to do some genetic testing on the American citizenry, is that right?
Well, basically the Greys got permission to do limited testing. They would pick up a number of American citizens and they would give the names of these citizens to the national security agencies. They would make sure that these citizens weren't harmed and that they would remove the memories of the abductions. But in fact, what happened was that the abductions were much wider, more extensive. There were hundreds of thousands being abducted. People were being harmed and memories weren't always removed. And so a lot of people were disclosing what was happening.
Wow. So are you saying that like all American presidents are clued into this? Like Bush in office right now, does he really know what's going on with these Greys and these Nords and the reptoids even? We get into them later.
Sure. Well, Bush isn't that smart. I mean, he leaves all the thinking to Dick Cheney. And,
so Cheney knows? Cheney
knows. He's in the loop. He knows all about the ET presence. So he's the one that basically is the interface between these secret committees and the Bush administration.
Now, I've heard that some aliens are actually in politics. I've read that Prince Charles is a kind of alien called a reptoid. Is that true?
Well, some have said that. I mean, Prince Charles does have a long tongue, so you know, maybe there's some truth there. But basically, there's still a lot of evidence that that needs to be provided that he is an actual a reptoid. But we're waiting for that. But
they're kind of the nasty ones, the reptoids.
reptoids.
They're not quite as cool as the Greys or the Nords. They're the ones that will kind of really mess you up, right?
Yeah, the reptoids have a reputation for doing some nasty things.
Real quick, we got to run, but you know we're in war in Iraq, and you, among other thinkers, say that maybe the real reason we went there wasn't to find weapons of mass destruction, or actually we were going to find weapons of mass destruction, but not the kind that you might think. These were actually alien weapons. Is that correct?
That's right. Saddam Hussein was aware that there was some ET artifacts that were left over from an ancient civilization, the Sumerian civilization, that actually had interactions with aliens called the Anunnaki, and that the Bush administration, well, not the Bush administration, but the committees that told the Bush administration that they needed to get in there because they couldn't leave those artifacts open and accessible to Saddam Hussein and any of the European or Russian governments.
So, you know, we should just stop complaining. We went to war. It was just. We should have gone in there.
Well, you don't know what would have happened if they didn't go in there and take control of
Saddam
whatever was in
Hussein,
there.
we want him in league with the Anunnaki. That would be a very bad thing. Dr. Michael Salla, thank you so much for being here on the program. You got to read the book, Geopolitics. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you're just getting into this subject, this is the place to start. Come back and see it again. Okay? All right, coming up, this may look like a cruel piece of alien technology, but it was actually created here on Earth to kill the turnip eaters. We'll talk to the inventor of the Rodinator next.
Stay tuned. Anime Unleashed next.
Unscrewed. Before the assault weapon ban was lifted, the best way to kill burrowing rodents was this device, the Rodinator. Yeah! Oh, yeah! Well, now, via netcam from Midvale, Idaho, here's its inventor, Ed Meyer. How you doing, Ed?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Ed, I got to ask you, are burrowing rodents so big a nuisance that you needed to invent this killing machine?
Hey, I think nuisance is putting it pretty mild. They're terrible. Kill them all.
They're just digging holes, man. It's nature. Maybe you should invent something that could kill baby birds in the nest. Quickly, efficiently.
No, the burrowing rodents eat trees, they eat your garden, they leave big piles of dirt in your yard. They're a nuisance. They cost us money.
Oh, okay, then. That's fine.
Yeah.
How does this thing work?
Well, let me tell you. We're basically just mixing propane and oxygen together, putting it down the tunnel system, igniting it, producing a combustive force that's twice the power of TNT.
Whoa, man. I mean, whatever happened to good old poison?
No, they still have it, but it's not effective anymore. They've made it so weak that it doesn't work. You've got to find better means.
Have the gophers become resistant? Like there's a race of super gophers now?
Yeah, I think they did. That's why we had to go to an extreme measure with the Rodinator. Ain't it great?
It's pretty amazing, man. In fact, it's spellbinding.
You got to see an old farmer look at it.
Oh, my God.
It's great.
So are gophers good eating?
Well, only if they're flame broiled.
Do you have any plans on upgrading the Rodinator, make it a little bit more powerful?
Damn straight. This spring, I've got a completely remote control-driven one, so you can stand away and blow her up. And I got a small one that's for your average household guy. They'll just be a couple $100. It's a really neat little deal.
That's handy. Is it really important, like Laura here was wearing the helmet and the earphones, is it that dangerous that you got to wear that protective gear?
No, it's called CYA. Cover your ass.
How much does the Rodinator cost, Ed?
Shipped to your door. It's $1,880, and that's everything but a tank of propane and oxygen.
That's good value.
Yeah, it's very affordable compared to what people spend on poisons. It's cheap.
Ed, you're a true American hero.
Yes, I am.
Thanks very much.
Want to know something scary?
What's that, Laura?
I actually brought this with me from Tucson on the plane. They didn't stop me.
That is scary. Hey, everyone out there, if you have $1,800, a gopher problem, and bloodlust, go to Rodinator.com and get yours today. You take that home? That looks like a lot of fun. You could have fun with that tonight. All right, coming up, we will gaze at pictures of a girl so fetching, so beguiling, that if we lived in an earlier time, she would be burned as a witch. Now let's raise the golden goblet to our lips and drink the nectar of Girls Gone Wired. Tonight's doe-eyed dolly mink is Jennifer Corbin. Jennifer is a big advocate for eating right. I'm an advocate too, an advocate for the people of Guam. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been to Guam, and while yes, there are problems, such as the fact that large reptilian creatures roam Guam unchecked, wantonly eating the citizenry, it must be emphasized that Guam is a very nice place. It has trees and even a lake, but it also has oil, lots of oil. And I, on behalf of the Guamian people, will sell you that oil. I know where it is. I will take you there. It'll be great. You need oil. I can get you good, cheap Guamian oil. So you pay me, I kick a little bit back to the Guams, and hey, everything's groovy, man. Everything's groovy. Anyway, for more pics of Jennifer, go to jennifercorbin.com. Oh, that's all the time we got. That was a great show. Got to run, though. Thanks to our friends, Dr. Michael Sala, Ed Meyer, Girl Gone Wired, Jennifer Corbin, Dr. Peterson, and, of course, The Swish. All right, everyone. We'll see you at the bar.
I hate Adam Sessler.
I'd rather suck on a urinal puck than play this game.
Why does he get to play video games and review video games on our show about video games? Why does he get to spend every day with Morgan Webb?
We've got a preview of the hottest new releases.
Yeah!
Obsessed with video games? Watch X-Play with Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb. Weeknights at 11.
Stay tuned. Anime Unleashed next.